All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. That's right. And in today's video, we are going to be checking out just this is going to be a fun video today, a little more of a lighthearted video, checking out a deck that I've been kind of messing with lately, a blue-green navy deck where Don Quixote Rosinante as the leader, a deck that's going to be like a blue-green navy type of feel, and maybe splash one other thing. Like in this video, I'm splashing navy with, what are they called? Supernovas. But I also think splashing navy with Don Quixote Pirates could maybe be even better. So yeah, you guys know what you're getting into. That's what this kind of video, or that's what today's video is going to be about. We're going to be checking out this deck that I've been messing with. I do have a game we're going to go over at the end for this blue-green, for the deck you see. And then I'm going to talk about some revisions I'd like to make to the deck going forward. So I'm going to walk through the deck, name each card and the amounts, and then we'll check out the video, and then I'll tell you about what I think about it and where it could possibly go. And as always, guys, if you guys have any comments or suggestions or questions, please don't hesitate to put them down in the comment section below. Okay, so the leader, let me read what the leader does real quick for those who don't know. He's just a 5,000 power 4-life blocker leader that can stand up at the end of your turn if you have 6 or less cards in your hand. Okay, he has Navy and Don Quixote Pirates keywords, which is huge, right? That's a pretty decent... now that we have the OP06 cards with the TCG searcher, that opens up quite a few possibilities, I feel like. And think about it, we could also do like Sugar in a deck like this, Birdcage. There's a lot of interesting ideas. We'll talk about as we go through the video. Okay, so there's the leader. We're running 4 Trafalgar Law, 2 Eustace Kid, 4 X-Drake, the green X-Drake that pops, the 5-cost popper. Then you have 2 of the Rosinantes, the 8-cost Rosinantes, and 4 of the 2-cost Rosinante blockers. 4 Jewelry Bonnie, 4 Scratchman Apu, 4 of the X-Drake. Was not a big fan of this is the 4-cost X-Drake that can potentially buff. Was not a big fan of this card. I'll talk about this more later. 4 Hina, 2 Borsellino, the 7-cost blue Borsellino. 4 Monkey D. Garp. This is the new OP, or well, I guess it's not new, but this was an OP05 2K counter that can do a draw two, and then put 2 to the bottom of your deck in any order. X-Drake, just a great. This is the blue blocker one that can do a top 5 search. 4 Tashigi Searcher, and 4 Gravity Blade Raging Tiger. This card is just incredible. Gravity Blade Raging Tiger allows you to bully the board. So blue and green do not have any way to do any kind of cost reduction currently. Like as a combo, like you can combo with blue and black or green and black, but with blue and green, even in navy, they still don't have any cost reduction. That's still pretty much specifically a black card trait. So this card is very, very good, right? The Gravity Blade Raging Tiger. Borsellino is very solid as well, but it's not as good as it is in like Sakazuki. The Rosinante is incredible. So one thing to take note of, X-Drake and, well, all of the, well, excuse me, 2 of the X-Drakes. The 2 green X-Drakes are both Supernova and Navy searchable in this deck, which was nice. But after playtesting the deck, I think going forward, a better option is going to be Don Quixote Pirates instead of Supernova. But I don't know. Y'all tell what y'all think in the comment section below. All right, so we're going to watch the game real quick, the game that I went through here. Let me hit play. And I almost forgot to record it. I already did my Tashigi search and grabbed a Hina. But yeah, let's go ahead and let me hit play, make sure it's at 2x speed, and I'll kind of walk you guys through it. I don't know who this player was. This is a random player on the sim. This is not ranked. This was just a random guy I went against just to try this deck out so that I could put a video out for you guys today and tell you what I think about it. So I started off with the Tashigi search. And I will say, like, these Hinas, the Hina in this deck is just literally perfect because, okay, remember, you have to be at 5 cards or less in hand when you, once you play it. So once you play the card and you're down to 5 cards in hand, you draw up to 6. Well, that's where you need to be at to stand back up with your Rosinante. And that's what I did there. I swung for 5. They counter out. I play Hina to go back up to 6 and establish a body. And now my leader's unrested or active and can block if needed. Like right now, it doesn't need it, obviously. But just very solid. So against yellow, this is just yellow Big Mom, right? This is just mono yellow Charlotte Linlin. I'm trying to keep my life up as much as high as possible because they might be running the Big Mom Pirates Homies package. They might be running 10 Lin, 7 Lin, Soul Pocus, you name it. Okay, so play another Hina to go back up to 6. That's another reason to counter out, by the way. If you're going to be playing another Hina, you can counter out that way. And, make sure to stay under 6 cards in hand so you can play it out to get down to 5 and draw back up with it and stand your leader. So play out the next Hina. Play out a Jewelry Bonnie. And I'm not using her effect yet. I'm just putting her on the board in case I need her for later. I'm sitting on a Gravity Blade Raging Tiger for whatever he plays here, depending on what he does, right? I need to see what he's trying to do. Because he does have a Daifuku. For those who don't know what this card is on the far right, his name is Daifuku. He's not played much in Standard, but he has, attach 1 Dawn and attack, and then he has the Sanji effect to draw the top card of your life. Or I think you can choose the top or bottom card of your life, and then you add the top card of your deck to the top of your life. So that's actually very strong if you think about it. Okay, so he swings it for 7. I take it. His category did not have haste because I had less life than him, and he did not attack with his leader. I don't think he wants to give me too many cards because I already have, 7 cards in hand. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to just use my board then if you're not going to battle for my board. Swing 5 at leader. He counters out for 1. Swing 5 more at leader. He's just giving me all his hand right now, so I'm like, yeah, I'll absolutely take this. Okay, he takes that one, so I'm like, okay, he must be out of counters. He's right now he's determining if he wants to use a trigger or not. That's what we're waiting on. And he gets Prometheus, the double attack homie. So very solid for him. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to pop his guy that's rested. I just need to get the Daifuku off the board. That's the #1 concern. Excuse me. Now he doesn't get greedy with this double attack. He just says, I'm going to swing 5 with double attack here. And I'm like, okay, sure. I'll just 2K counter out. Now, I would have been fine taking that, by the way. If he had loaded all his Dawn on his leader to make sure that goes through, I would have just taken it. I would have just taken the 2 life there and bullied his board and just established a blocker. But anyway, so he uses his... Oh, so he used a Soul Focus from hand. This guy might be new, because you should be putting Soul Focus on top of your life when you go down to 2 or 3 life. But he swings 7 at life. I end up taking that one. And now I'm like, okay, we're going to get rid of this Prometheus now. So swing 4 into it. Doesn't defend it, obviously. And I have another X-Drake if I need to get rid of his Katakuri. But at the same time, I'm like, all right, let me see if I can get any more cards out of his hand. Okay, so he gives me a 1K counter there. Let's take every single card out of his hand. So swing 6 into the Katakuri again. So he is starting to feel suffocated, right? Because I'm starting to starve him from cards. I'm eating up his board. I'm not attacking his life. So, okay, right here, I play out the Rosinante, play out the Trafalgar Law for free from his effect, which pulls back Hina, replays Hina to draw me a card, and now I've got a blocker, I've got 2 life, my board's completely full. And notice I haven't used my Jewelry Bonnie at all in this game. It didn't feel great, and I also didn't want to go over any of my Navy cards, right? Like, especially my Gravity Blade Raging Tigers, or any cards like that. But, I mean, I still would have used it if I had the opportunity. I just kept having exact Dawn to use what I'm doing here. So he plays out a 5-cost Charlotte. I don't even know his name. So swing 5 at the leader. And he's going to give me, again, he just keeps giving me cards out of his hand. It's like, man, just let these go through so you can build up a hand and actually have answers. So now I'm waiting for him to get triggers, so that way I can just wipe him. He gets a Soul Focus. I'm like, okay, we'll just go ahead and grab a life then, because I'm in no rush. I have a blocker. I have 1 life. Perfect. He gets a body. That was what I was waiting for. Now I'm going to Gravity Blade Raging Tiger, both of them off the board, and play out my Rosinante for the turn. 2 blockers, 1 life. He has nothing in hand, nothing on board. I'm feeling comfortable with this game. There's that card again. It's some kind of 5-cost 6K. It has like Dawn times 1 when attacking. Add the top card of your life to your hand, and this card gets banished till the end of turn. I think his name was Snack or something like that. I can't remember. Yep. So he swings in. I'm like, okay, I have another Rosinante in hand. I'll just block out of it. Swing 5 at life, and I'm ready to kind of like win the game here for the most part. Let's see what he does. He draws a card here, and from Power Mochi, and looks at his top life card. I'm like, okay, I'm not really worried, right? I'm not really concerned about this. Swing 5 at life, give me a card from hand, or this is going through. And I'm like, okay, now the game's actually just over. So swing 6 at life. If it's not a trigger, it's not going to do anything for him. And it's not. Swing 8 at life, he won't have enough to counter out unless it's a 2 Dawn event. Then he could have technically. Gets a Brûlée. Yep, no problem. I just go Borsalino here, remove that from the board, and I'm going all in. I was willing to chance it there if he didn't have it. Let me pause because he just, yeah, that's all I had. So even if he could have blocked out of that, I have 1 life, and he has a 5K and a 6K on the board, and I've got, like, what is this, 2, 4, 6, 7K in hand. So I can get one of my guys to 12K and whatever's in my life. So it's one of those situations where, I mean, maybe that was risky, to be honest, but at the same time, it was a risk I was willing to take. Like, he had to have gotten literally some type of event just to survive that. So, okay. So that was the game. Now, after I have played the game, or played this deck a few other times, and I have to say, this card was just not good. There was never... I played the deck probably like 4 or 5 times now on the sim. I never want to play this card. It's never opportune. It's never the right time to play it. It never feels good. So this card I'll be cutting. This card was good in quite a few games. This card is incredible if it combos with Law or X-Drake. It's insane if you can combo with Trafalgar Law. I will say that, because it usually goes, okay, play this guy, play out, play Rosinante, play out the Law, pull back like a Tashigi and drop down a Rosinante, or pull back a Hina like you saw in that last game, replay the Hina, draw a card, get a body, and now you can't attack it if I already attacked with it that turn. It just ended up being just straight gas. Like this card was really nice. So the first revisions I would make is these X-Drakes would be gone. And I would probably be going up a Rosinante, a Eustace Kid, and a Borsellino. And for the final spot, I would probably actually put in, what's it called, Red Rock. That would just be a little tech card that I put on the side. A few other options that I was looking at. There's plenty of new 2K counters to mess with for blue for Navy, like Gion here. This one has your turn once per turn. When your opponent activates an event, your opponent places 1 card from their hand at the bottom of their deck. So it makes them trash a card. It's even better than trashing a card, right? If you're going against Nami, it actually adds a card. It takes a card from their hand and adds it to the bottom of their deck so they have to draw, even more cards to win the game. This card, John Giant, is probably just a great card to have in the deck, and it's something I do want to mess with at some point. Isho can lock people down. This card's excellent. Aramaki is also very good as a blocker. The new blocker we get in OP06. This card was not as great for me. I'm not going to lie. It wasn't bad. It just... I would, if I'm playing something for 5, I'd actually rather be the X-Drake or the Trafalgar Law. That combos perfectly with the Rosinante. But it still wasn't bad. Going a Pacifista engine would be interesting as well with Centimaro and Pacifistas, or even the blockers. I think that there might be some potential there I'll mess with in the future. Again, Houndblaze, since we don't have access to cost reduction, I don't think Houndblaze is great for what I'm trying to do here. But against the early stuff, it might not be bad. Just push some of the little stuff out of the way. This new Kuzan is nice for fixing your hand. And honestly, like maybe this is just a better option in the spot of the X-Drake, since we already have 8 5-drops. Like maybe it's just a better option, where we can just draw 2, pick the ones we want, and put the other 2 on the bottom of our deck with this new Kuzan card here. Little 2-cost blocker. Everything else is pretty mediocre. I think this card. So this is perfect for what I'm about to actually. Let me look at the green cards real quick. Yeah, this Kobe's fine. It's just a vanilla 4-cost 6K. I think this would even be better than than the other one we were running. This guy right here, just running a 4-cost 6K with a 1K counter would probably just be better. So now, moving on from Don Quixote, or moving on from Supernova to Don Quixote Pirates as the other option, like Navy / Don Quixote Pirates, I do think Virgo would be a good option in the deck. It's just a 5-cost beater, 5-cost 7K beater with a 1K counter, and it is searchable for Navy and Don Quixote Pirates. Now, I mentioned that because, hang on one second. Let me bring up... this should bring it up. Nice, perfect. If we go to the Don Quixote Pirates package, excuse me, it would be a little... so Supernova would be gone. Let me see. Yeah, that would all be gone, we just said. I probably would get rid of this. But just as a quick glimpse of what we'd have access to, Sugar is just one of those cards. If we can start comboing this with Trafalgar Law, with the Rosinantes, it is just going to be pure, frustration. Absolutely horrible to go against. For the Baby 5 Searchers, we'll need 4 2K counters as well with something. Where's that? I think there's another 2K counter. Was it Baby 5? I think it is. Well, here, we'll just use this one for now, just a 2K counter. And then the next thing we'd want to add is the 10-cost Doflamingo. I would still keep Eustace Kid, but for the sake of this, for this part of the video, you can just swap him out for Doflamingo. And if you were to go this route, I think it would be really smart to mess around with Birdcage, because this could be pretty nasty, is all I'm going to say. Locking them down, because, okay, yeah, it could lock our guys down as well, but it's our Hinas. You know what I'm saying? It's like locking out our Hina and our Tashigi. We're not too worried about it. Now, yes, it does kind of have a negative synergy with something like Sugar or Rosinante, but if we need to, maybe there's potential to bounce it back with Trafalgar Law, or some other card we might include in the deck, something to mess with later. So, anyway, that's about it, guys, for today's video. I have not tested this version out. This is just a new deck I was messing with. I'd like to add Red Rocks at some point. But overall, I think this deck has some potential, and I think it's a very cool, interesting deck to play. I've always liked the way Rosinante was. I think blue and green are very powerful is a very powerful color combination, and I will probably be messing with this quite a bit in the future. But yeah. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you've not already. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, by all means, leave it down in the comment section below. And yeah, until next time, guys. Peace.